मजबूत सा सही सा ब्लेजर या कोट लगाया, हाथ में स्टारबक्स की कॉफी ली और वायलिन्स बज रहे.
What do you think that harsh truth is?
You will sacrifice a little bit of personal time. ये होता है, but कोई उसके बारे में ज्यादा बात नहीं करता है. वो I did it then and today I'm here. When in Rome, do like the Romans do.
ये होने वाला है.
Move for the right reasons. Don't just put your hands up. Also know what's happening. तो बहुत फील होता है. रिश्ते पीछे छूट जाते हैं, मोहल्ले गलियां पीछे छूट जाती हैं. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. Unlearning what you already know, that is the hardest.
Hello Mellita, welcome to the podcast.
Hi,
it's a
Aryan.
pleasure having you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Why don't we start with a small intro about you?
About me, so my name is Mellita Barboza, and I moved to Canada in 2023. I moved directly as a permanent resident.
Okay.
I came from New Zealand, where I lived for nearly, I would say, 6.5 to 7 years before coming to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And education and work experience wise, I'm a lawyer. I qualified
Okay.
in India, went to New Zealand, requalified. I've been working as a lawyer and paralegal for the last n number of years.
Okay.
That's all I know. That's all I've done.
Okay.
And passionate about law. Happy to be where I am, and happy to be here today.
Okay, so how long were you in New Zealand again?
Oh, so I moved there in 2017. And I lived there until almost 2023, so like around
Oh,
6.5 years.
Okay. So how does your basically day in a life look like here in Canada?
Oh, you're in Canada. I mean, it's the same mundane life that we all live. You like wake up in the morning,
Okay.
you do your chores, you go to work, you come back.
I see.
I try to go to the gym. I try. It's hard. It's hard to fit that in because I have longer work hours. So sometimes it's really hard to sort of fit it in. I do end up having more time these days because I recently moved to downtown. So I think that really helps saving up on the travel time.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, when I lived like in Mississauga, it was hard. It was because it used to take me like 3 hours. So I mean, if I have to answer that question, I think day in the life of someone like me, like I'm working like a law clerk paralegal.
Yeah.
Work-wise, it's hectic. It is stressful. You have to always be at your optimum. We have to always kind of emails, read the email, attention to detail. Apart from that, I'm a very chilled out and flexible person, so I'm good.
I see. I when I heard about you, you are a lawyer. You do community service and you're a leader and everything.
Oh my god!
So, knowing about you, how do you manage all of this in just a span of one day? Like, if you have to manage all this tasks, how do you manage it?
It's like, I think women are known to multitask. We are queens of multitasking. I think that I would say a little bit, I'll give it there.
Okay.
So when I used to take that much time to travel, sometimes in the GO train, I'll take calls, I'll make notes, I'll do things, and I mean I rely on notes a lot. Like notes is my go-to on the iPhone notes.
Yeah, got it.
Anything I have, even if I have a thought also in my mind, I'll just go and make note of it.
I see.
And then, so I think that is how staying organized, staying on top of things really helps. Because I think sometimes as human beings, we have so much going on that we know we have to do something, but we don't know how, and we forget to streamline things.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of do that. And then wherever I am, I try to give my 100%. Like if I'm at work, I will always, I'll try to stay focused as far as I can, and then I won't, my phone is away, I don't take calls, I don't answer messages. Sometimes I even switch the Wi-Fi, data, everything off, so you don't end up getting distracted. And then, of course, when I'm taking breaks, I'm just quickly checking if there's something. So I think multitasking and giving your 100%, staying focused, discipline, I would say that is very important. Like if you want to do a lot of things, you have to be focused and disciplined. Because a little bit also here and there, you'll be lost.
But if you checkmark a lot of things, if you do multitask, do you think you miss out on certain things?
Of course.
What do you think you have sacrificed or you have missed out on?
Sacrifice, I think, so this question has many layers. If you just have to speak about what I do, then yes, you're not going to be able to finish or pack in everything in one day.
I see.
Even work-wise also. There'll always be tasks, or there'll always be things which we have to put off for the next day. Then I think the same answer that I had given in my interview. Prioritizing.
Okay.
You have
Okay.
to see like what is priority for now,
Okay.
and then you have to focus on only that.
Okay.
And then something which is not that important for today and which can be put off for tomorrow gets put off for tomorrow.
Okay.
Sacrifice, I would say, I don't necessarily sacrifice anything in terms of my day to day. I mean, I think the only sacrifice you would make is like, I guess, now to give you a good example, I'm not fully unpacked. So
Okay.
the little sacrifices I'm making are living out of my suitcase.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about sacrifice in terms of being in Canada, I think the biggest sacrifice we make as immigrants is to stay away from our family.
Okay.
You miss
I see.
them.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you miss them every single day. Or like, oh, I wish they were here or we were
I see.
there. And
I
you
see.
question your decisions, your existence. Like, why am I here? What am I doing here? But yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. If I have to look into that perspective, what does it take? What do I have to give up, or what extra mile I have to go to be a community leader?
Oh, see, so then in that case, you will sacrifice a little bit of personal time.
Okay.
I think maybe the time that you would have used to, I guess, I don't know, you could have probably, like, there was a time I used to watch a lot of series, movies. Even that has substantially decreased now. I'm not
Okay.
on like anything new coming out on Netflix. There was a time I'm like, I'm done. I've watched this. I've watched this. I've watched this.
Okay.
But now it's been months, and I'm like, oh, I've actually not watched this. I've not watched this. So maybe for me something like that.
Yeah.
Like I've not like it's like you win some, you lose some. You
Okay.
know. So
Fair enough.
yeah. So I think if you want to really do something for the community, your personal time is going to slip out of your hands. Your time is not yours fully. Like not a complaint, just a fact, where you're working and then you're planning things, you're attending meetings, you're trying to find vendors, you're coordinating with people, you're attending calls. Like yeah, so it's all of that. Maybe I would have used that time to, I guess, watch a series. I would have probably used it to I don't know, just relax, maybe take a nap. Like I'm not sacrificing on any sleep, I just want to say. But
Okay.
I can't think of anything real right now, but I would have just used it, I don't know, to relax, I would say.
Okay, fair
But
enough.
that being said, yeah, but at the end of the day, you need to want it. And only then you will go after it.
Yeah.
That is very important.
Give me an example of how a community leader is, what it does, and how did you become a community leader from the scratch? So I want to know everything.
For sure, I'm not a community leader.
No, but so
I mean,
so you've
okay.
started your
Yeah.
community here, right?
Yes,
You have gathered a bunch of people.
Fair, and I'll take that.
You manage events.
Yes,
You
I'll take that.
organize gatherings and
Yes,
everything.
I'll take that.
So I will consider yourself as a
Okay.
community
I
leader.
mean, I want to see it as there's no one leader. I think we all hold each other's hand. We walk together.
Okay.
Like I believe in the phrase "together we can do so much."
Okay.
That is how I roll, and I've always been someone I like bringing people together.
I see.
Even when I was in law school also, we used to organize college festivals, we used to organize moot court competitions. I've participated in those, won them also. So I
you've
think
always carried the factor of organizing.
always, and I
Okay.
love bringing people
Fair
together.
enough.
Like because I know, like being an only child, sometimes it can get a bit lonely out there.
I see.
So because of how certain experiences I've had, good, bad, everything, I feel like if I can, be that guiding light to someone, if I can, I guess, make two people befriend each other. Like if someone comes and tells me, and they have, like I met this person through you, or I actually made a friend because of you, and I actually got some help because of you, I feel very happy. Like I won't be able to give examples because I don't want any credit for it, but I just want to say, like when someone tells me that, it makes me very happy, because at the end of the day I feel like, okay, I did something for someone. This is the least I could do, and I did it. And as far as like so I think that drive has always been there. How I came about is because I moved to Mississauga in 2024.
Okay.
So it's a very cute, sweet story. Like my landlady's sister actually organizes and manages everything.
Okay.
You can call her a community leader, because they have been doing this for n number of years. They've done
Okay.
so much for the community, and even now also the main goal of the community that we're a part of is to provide affordable graves to Catholics in Canada, which is I
Okay.
think a very noble thing that they're doing.
Fair enough.
So I met her through my landlady, my previous landlady. She kind of roped me in, and yeah, the rest is history. Yeah, I created that WhatsApp group of young adults sitting on my office desk one evening.
Okay.
And we've grown it from like zero to, I just added my 175th member today.
Oh, wow.
Just before coming here. So
Okay.
it's a team effort. I refuse to take sole credit for it. It's not just me, it's all of us. Like, together we can do so much. It's all of us in it together, everyone kind of mobilizing the community, bringing people together. I'm just a small cog in the machine, and if this is what I can do, and if I can do it, I'll do it for as long as I can.
Okay, sweet enough. Sweet enough. Even I'm a single kid. So for me, even I would just go and enter a party or maybe just enter a community, but I don't know how to do it. So how
Okay.
do I enter a
Enter.
community? How do I get to know if there's any community or?
I think the first step, and I'll give you like a personal example for me, because I'm also a little older than you.
Yeah.
So for me, I think the first thing to do was to let go of my pride and ego. Because at the end of the day, the question always comes, why should I do this? Is this my age to do
Exactly.
it? Like, what is in it for me?
Yeah.
You know, so the answer to everything was in the negative. Like, what is in it for me? Nothing. Why should I do it? Okay, not finding a good enough answer, and so on, so forth. So letting go of that was the first step. Like, okay,
Okay.
fine, there's nothing in it for me. Maybe not, I don't know. No professional gain, I'm looking at it like that. Personal gains, yes, I made so many friends. Like, you know, and like forming a little community of your own, forming friends of your own, and a home away from home.
I
That's
see.
what I gained.
I
So,
see.
but professionally, monetarily, nothing. The world thinks in those terms. That nothing. But how can someone get in? I think by putting yourself out there, by not letting go. If you're shy, letting go of that. If you're a little proud, whatever, letting go of that, not letting your ego come in between. Putting yourself out there, going and talking to people. I don't hesitate to reach out to people and talk to them. I'm like, hey, I'm Mellita, what's your name? And you know, people have even accused me that sometimes I poach their members, or yeah, it's very weird, but don't want to dwell on that. But I'll just say this. I think being yourself, being kind, approachable, and going up to people, talking to them, asking them simple questions which help you unravel their story. Like, what's your story? Because at the end of the day, everyone wants to speak about themselves. They want a listening ear.
Yeah. Fair
Just
enough.
being that person, and then whenever I organize events, I personally invite people.
Okay.
So I make it a point. So for me, like, if someone wants to like get involved in any way, our doors are always open.
Okay.
And if someone wants to be like, you know, actively involved in the community, I think the best thing to do would be to reach out to someone who already is, and go to events. And when you go to events, actually mingle, meet people, talk to them as much as you can. Some people will reciprocate, some people will not. Focus on the positives, don't dwell on the negatives, and just keep looking forward. I
So always
guess.
talking is the first initial
Yeah,
step.
the initial step.
So if the person is an introvert, how do they do it?
See, good question. Fair point. If you're an introvert, you will not necessarily want to then organize events and go. If you want to organize events and go, then you're not going to let your introvertedness come in the way.
Right.
You can't want both things.
Yeah.
You can't have both things.
Mm-hmm.
You're either this or you're that.
Yeah.
Like, there was a time which in between, where in my 20s, where I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
Okay.
And that felt right for me at that time, because I was at a, I guess, stage in life. I was working, I was very busy. I moved to New Zealand, I was studying and working. I started working in New Zealand also. So, and in New Zealand, it's a very small country, so we don't have an opportunity to do any of these things. So, all of that.
So
Then-
even back home, you have
Yeah.
organized the community even in New Zealand and even here, right?
Yeah, so back home I've organized events at law school. Not
Okay.
community events as such, but in
Okay.
law school I have.
Okay.
Yes. New Zealand I tried, but there was not much of a response.
Okay.
But I made some friends through that.
Okay. Fair enough.
And yeah, through church activities and events, and we had something called as the like youth day, and you know, all of that. And yes, it's what I'm doing here is exactly similar to what I did in law school.
I see.
So it's
What do you
familiar
think
territory.
is harder to create? I mean, what is the hardest part in the leadership?
Hardest part, I think hardest part is to cater to so many people, and I guess because see, different people, right? Different people, different personalities,
Yeah.
different mindsets. You have to kind of cater to everyone. It's a fine line. You have to be very diplomatic, which is something I've learned at work,
Yeah.
thanks to my profession.
Okay.
You have to you don't have to necessarily be a people pleaser, I'm not saying that, but you have to be firm whilst also being nice, and then catering to a larger crowd, like conducting yourself well, where you don't end up offending someone unintentionally. Unfortunately, we're human beings, everyone will make a mistake.
Yeah.
So I think one of those things is like catering to that larger crowd, bringing everyone together without causing any conflict, drawing that, being very tactful, and drawing that fine line. I think that is one of the bigger challenges, like at least personally I would say.
I'm sure that you might have to communicate with a lot of people when you handle at a bigger level.
Oh yeah.
So how, if there's any conflicts or if there's any disagreements, so how do you handle those?
For me, I think generally if I end up, so I used to be very short-tempered. I get that from my dad. But I think as I grow older, I have started like being a little more like, I would say sensible. My mom, if she's watching this, will agree.
Okay.
Like, so every time I get angry or upset, I just take 5 steps back. I don't immediately react, or at least I try not to, because I feel anything done, it's like it's a hasty decision you're making. So I try to avoid that. I try to take 5 steps back, take a deep breath. And if from a community level, if there are any conflicts or anything, then I think I would have the same approach. I'll breathe. I'll be like, okay, I don't need to react to this now. I can always go back to this at a later stage.
Yeah.
If it is something that requires an apology from me, I'll apologize. If it requires a response from me, I'll respond. If it does not need a response at all, I will probably not respond. If I feel messages are tone deaf, I think a majority of the misunderstandings that
through the messages.
Oh my god, you have to like really, because when you're reading a message, I'm reading it differently, someone else is reading it differently. It's tone, there's no tone.
It's always a perspective.
It's a perspective, exactly. So I feel like apart from everything else, the last thing I would do is like, if I feel I need to pick up the phone and call, I would call instead of typing a message. Anything else that I need to do, I'll do. If I don't have to do something, I will not do it at that point in time. If I don't have to respond, if I feel like, okay, this is escalating, no need to respond, I'll leave it at that. That's fine. And letting go. I think letting go is very important in any part of your life.
Yeah.
I think biggest destructor of conflict is letting go, forgiving. Because the more you hold on, the more that conflict, or that, I guess, the poison, negativity grows inside of you. We don't want that.
Yeah.
We want
to move ahead.
Yeah.
To move ahead, it's better to let go of.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think it's worth holding on to any which way. So I think the best thing that you can do is like kind of maybe take a step back, breathe. And don't immediately respond. Take your time, and because when you're calm, your mind will function a little differently.
I see.
When you're upset, your mind will always tell you to do things which can prove yourself right.
Yeah.
But you don't have to always prove yourself right. Like, whom are you proving yourself to?
Exactly.
There are few people whom you're accountable to, whom probably one of them is your parents.
Yeah.
They will not ask you to prove anything, because they know who you are.
Right.
So yeah, I guess it's just that. I don't know. I tend to digress a lot. You have to bear with me and bring me back.
It's okay. Don't worry about that. But I really love the idea of how you give a personal touch to every person in the community, and you grow with them, you communicate with them, you just make sure that they participate. If not, you give your best try. So I really love that idea, to be very honest.
Thank you.
And to take up some notes about how, if I want to, correct me if I'm wrong, if I have to build up my own community, I don't know what kind of community I'll create, but if I have to create a supposedly say Gujarati community, okay, so I'll try and make sure that I'll communicate to Guju people. I'll try to give them a personal touch, as you said.
Yes, that. And then I think additionally, getting to know them.
Okay.
Getting to know them, what are their likes, what are their dislikes, what are their what are their buttons. You don't want to push those buttons. You want to focus on their likes. You don't, when you know about their dislikes, you don't want to enter that space. You want to give them respect. I think that comes first. You're giving the person respect. You're every time, like, I personally reach out to people like, hey, I'm organizing this, please attend this, please consider this my personal invitation. I do that.
I see.
And then people like that. It kind of makes you feel a little happy, welcome, so I feel that is important. Then, oh god, I'm letting out my trade secrets. Oh my god, I'm kidding. No.
So,
I'm kidding.
Okay, I got my points, and I'll make sure, if I ever try to build up a community, I'll
then I think main thing would be like mobilizing people. You mobilize people by developing like a linear equation with them.
Okay.
Like, and then of course, remembering things about them, like which a friend of mine told me, like, you remember things about us, which we really appreciate. That, because it's very important, like,
Oh.
Yeah. Like
that's a new thing.
Small things.
Okay.
Small things. Like, if you tell me something about you, I'll be like, okay, I'll try to remember that. And then the next time I will, that is how you build a relationship with a person. That is how you mobilize, like, maybe you may not end up becoming best friends, but then at the end of the day, you know that, okay, you can reach out to this person, like, I'm organizing something, they'll come. If they can come, they'll come. At the end of the day, you can't force people. And then at the end of the day, you also know that, okay, I know this person.
Fair.
So maybe I can pick up the phone and call them. Even if it's not event related, just generally, hey, how are you doing? So on and so forth. Keeping in touch as much as you can. It's a busy life. Like, it's hard.
Fair.
Myself, I don't even get time to, I guess, talk to everyone. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
When you meet, you meet. If you don't meet, it's like days. But then, days of no contact. But I think when you meet the next time, you pick up from exactly where you left off. That is an effort that one has to make. You have to develop that one-on-one linear equation with everyone, remembering little things about them, trying to keep in touch if and when you can, and having that focus, like getting to know them, asking them questions. How was your day? Are you okay? Do you need something? Not literally, do you need something, but how is work? And how are your parents? Like, I always ask those questions. So for me,
you definitely, I'm sure you agree with this, but do you feel that every immigrant who comes to this country should be a part of any community?
Absolutely, because I think it is, so see, that is one of the main reasons why I left New Zealand, right? I had a very settled life in New Zealand. My mom will attest to this. I lived there for like a good 6 years. I got my PR there, and New Zealand PR is indefinite.
Okay.
I can go back whenever I want to, if I want to go back, and I can continue like living. I mean, I can just continue living there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think at the end of the day, New Zealand is also a smaller country. So apart from like restrictions on social life, there were also like career restrictions. But if we focus just on the social life restrictions, that was one of the reasons why I thought I want to be a part of a bigger country. Bigger country, more people.
Right.
More people, more diversity, more opportunity, So I guess if this country is offering you that, why do you not want to avail of it? Like, if you can give me a strong logical reason of why you don't want to avail of it, no problem. But if you're just giving me reasons like, I don't like to do it, I'm shy, and no, it's okay that you're shy. I'm not asking you to stand on this table and dance.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you to put yourself out there, make friends, right? When you lived wherever you lived, if you're an immigrant, that means you've moved from somewhere.
Exactly.
You had friends there. I would imagine you did. Even if someone is an introvert, they probably had at least 1 or 2 friends. Go back and ask yourself, how did I make those friends? If you can make those friends...
You took a step, you spoke.
Yes, you did something.
Okay, fair.
You must have done something, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they came and fell on your lap. ऐसे गोदी में आके थोड़ी बैठ गए यार. कुछ तो किया होगा ना. कुछ तो किया होगा कि वो दोस्त बन गए. तो वो चीज़ फिर से क्यों नहीं कर सकते? If someone is saying I'm very lonely, like I also used to complain, oh, I'm lonely, I don't have friends, I don't know a lot of people. This is when I newly came, and my mom told me something very priceless. Like, if this is how it is, then you already knew all this, you've gone through it once before. How difficult can it potentially be for you to like restart? Right? It shouldn't be, because you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. She told me this, I think, in my 3rd or 4th month. And then I was like, yeah, she's actually right. So then she asked me one question: where do all the this Indian Catholics live? I was like, Mississauga. So I say this to everyone I meet. It's very funny. And then my mom was like, okay, so next you're going to stay in Mississauga.
Okay.
And then I did. I tried finding a home in Mississauga. Ended up finding it. So वही तो बोलते हैं ना, ढूंढने पे भगवान भी मिल जाते हैं.
Right.
नियत होनी चाहिए. आपको अंदर से फीलिंग आनी चाहिए कि मुझे ये चाहिए.
Fair.
I should be the one to feel I want this, and when you feel that you want it, you're going to go get it. If you don't want it, that's fine. No problem. Because at the end of the day, people have their reasons. Maybe they're busy with a family, they already have an established family, they've moved here as a family. When you have kids and all, obviously kids will take priority. Sometimes you're just not interested, you like being on your own. But I would say that's okay, no problem, as long as you're happy. Even if you're alone but you're happy on a good space, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Community only enhances your life in terms of making friends, knowing more people, and how do you say it, like if you need something, you know whom to ask.
Exactly.
Or at least you know where to go.
Fair enough. You don't want to be just lost.
Yeah, you're not
get
lost.
A sense of where to go.
Exactly. There are all those WhatsApp groups. You're like, hey, I need this. Can someone help? I need that. Can someone help? Is there someone? Is there like a lawyer in this group? Is there a financial advisor in this group? Is there a mortgage advisor in this group? So on.
Oh, lovely.
So all that, you could just mobilize. But then at the end of the day, if you're not someone who likes to socialize too much, go for parties, events and all, that's also okay. There's no problem with that. I just feel that if this country is offering you that, why not avail of it? आपको अगर उस चीज़ का फायदा हो रहा है यहाँ पे, तो उसका फायदा उठाओ ना यार. क्यों नहीं उठाना चाहते? बट नहीं भी उठाना चाहते, आपके पास रीजन है तो ठीक है. उसमें क्या, आप खुश हो ना, बस. Bottom line is that you're stuck in a ditch. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to call out for help. There's no help coming. You are going to try to get out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or what are you just going to sit there? Like if you're just going to sit there, then you're setting yourself up for disaster. Because if no one is coming to help you, you have to then do something to help yourself. So
I see.
Yeah, and then there's a saying like God only helps those who help themselves first.
Okay.
You have to make that step, and then आपके लिए रास्ता बन जाएगा उसके हिसाब से. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's move on to the immigrant part.
Sure.
So, how did you decide to come to New Zealand?
New Zealand or Canada?
New Zealand.
New Zealand, I didn't have much of a choice. My mom will tell you this. My mom moved there before I did.
Okay, so you had to.
I had to go there.
And
yeah, so option nahi tha. It was not my first option. It was not even on my list.
Okay, but you just moved and
because mom was there.
You were already working when you moved, or were you a student?
No, I moved to New Zealand as an international student.
Oh, you moved as a student.
So I have already gone through all that hustle I have also gone through all that hustle, but just not in Canada.
I see. What was your first experience in New Zealand?
As an international student?
Yeah.
Oh, it was rough. It was very rough because being a lawyer, I went to law school in New Zealand, and oh my god, like law school was very cliquey, like cliques, groups. People don't really talk, everyone is very competitive, and main thing was learning and unlearning. It's like when you move, I will not forget those first couple of months. You have to unlearn everything that you already know.
Okay, so jo seekha hai India mein, you just unlearn it.
Yes, that is so.
From scratch, okay.
Yes, that is so difficult. Like you already, know a bunch of things, you know how to operate, and suddenly you realize, oh my god, this holds no value here. Like I have to really, because you're so structured and ingrained in the way you are, that you're like, how do I let go of this? Like you letting go of it and becoming a new person and unlearning everything and charting a new path for yourself. I think that was the toughest part that time. Yeah, not having, I tied it through law school all on my own. I didn't have I did make a few friends, but they were just in a bunch of courses. They were not there in the other courses. So for the other courses, I studied on my own.
I see.
Didn't have study groups. Professors also, they were not very kind to me on my face. I don't want to use that word, but then sometimes they're like, wow, this is not your place. Professors have made me feel unwelcome. They've been like, oh, this is not your place. What are you even doing here types? So it was not. Now there's a lot of internationally trained lawyers moving overseas, but when I did it 8 years ago, 9 years ago, there was, I guess, I was the first one to actually do that course that I did at university. So nobody knew much about it. Now people know. So many people have reached out to me on LinkedIn, and then I've told them that, this, that and all. And I feel happy about it because I didn't have that guidance. I'm not complaining. It's just that because I didn't have it, जब आपके पास कुछ होता नहीं है तो आपको उसकी वैल्यू पता होती है. तो फिर आप हेजिटेट नहीं करते किसी और को देने के लिए, क्योंकि आपको लगता है मेरे पास नहीं था, चलो इसके पास तो हो.
उस पॉइंट पे कोई रिग्रेट हुआ था that maybe I was better in India?
वो आई थिंक है थोड़ा सा, बिकॉज अगर इंडिया में होती तो करियर में काफ़ी आगे बढ़ी होती अब तक, आई थिंक. क्योंकि अभी तो आई थिंक 10 साल हो गए टू सिंस आई ग्रेजुएटेड. डेफिनेटली करियर में आगे बढ़ जाती. लेकिन जैसे ही वो सोचती हूँ, आई काइंड ऑफ फील लाइक yes, I would have probably progressed a lot more in my career in India, but at what cost? Because we all know there is zero work-life balance in India, and I have experienced this firsthand. Like, I had a great manager, great employer, but I used to work 12 hours, 14 hours every day. That is not sustainable in the long run.
India?
In India, yes. Okay. 12 to 14 hours at a minimum. That is not sustainable. You can't do that in the long run. Like, law is a very hectic, stressful profession. But at the end of the day, you still want some work-life balance. Sometimes I used to work on weekends also.
Okay.
Yeah. After working 12 to 14 hours from Monday to Friday, I'm working on a Saturday. Sometimes I'm working on a Sunday also. There was a time when I worked for 3 weeks without a single day off. Because we were working on this project, there was no time to waste.
Okay.
Our manager even told us, like, this is the bull run, you have to go for it.
Okay.
There is no break. I can't do anything. This is how it is going to be. I still remember that meeting.
I see.
So that's okay. Like, after the 3-week I guess run, all of us took a day off. I think some people took 2 days. We didn't have to apply for any leave or anything. It was just given to us. But at the end of the day, that is not a very sustainable lifestyle, right? You want a little bit of work-life balance. You want to be able to go home to your family and, spend time with them. If you're earning money, you want to spend it also.
Yeah.
You want to go for movies. You want to have caramel popcorn sitting in that theater. Gosh, I miss that.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to go somewhere. You want to have dinner. You want to do all these things, right?
Right.
So yeah, I guess the regret is not about, like, yes, that थोड़ा बहुत regret होता है कि अच्छा करियर में कहाँ होती, अगर होती तो क्या होता. बट फिर इमीडिएटली वो दिन याद आते हैं, इतने घंटे काम करने वाले, और ऐसा लगता है नहीं यार कोई बात नहीं, क्योंकि जो मेरे पास है वो किसी के पास नहीं है. 3 कंट्रीज में रही हूँ मैं. कितने जने बोल सकते हैं ये, बोल भी सकते होंगे, चलो. लेकिन मैं तो नहीं मिली अब तक. मैं मिलूंगी तो मैं बहुत खुश रहूंगी कि अच्छा, बिकॉज दैट उसमें ना एक मसाला आ जाता है, एक यू गेट
flavors of all three.
Exactly, you get flavor, you become more seasoned. So I think the strengths that I have and that I have built are unique to me.
Okay.
So I'm not putting anyone down. Just because you don't have like experience in 3 countries doesn't mean it makes you any less than me.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking for myself.
I see.
Like despite me not being in India and not being where I could have been, I feel like I still am in a good space. I'm happy to see where I am. I can definitely do better, and that's what we always aim for.
Yeah, you always aim for progress.
Yes, onwards and upwards, like they say.
Okay, so New Zealand you studied, and did you work there?
I worked there, yes.
How many years did you work abroad?
I would say maybe 4 years.
4 years you worked?
4 years, yeah. Locally, I worked 4 years.
Wow.
Permanent jobs. And then I also had my India job, which I briefly continued. When I moved here, when I was studying and working.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, and then for 4 years, like after I finished studying in my final semester, I got a job at a law firm.
Okay.
And I continued that job, and then I switched jobs, and then I moved to a bigger law firm, and then when I switched that job, I even ended up getting my PR.
So what are the differences you experienced back in India and in New Zealand?
Oh, the legal system, you
mean? Working as a lawyer in New Zealand and in India.
Oh, Australia and New Zealand has great work-life balance. Great. Like, I think the work-life balance in New Zealand doesn't compare to any other country.
Okay.
Not even Canada. Canada is also pretty...
Is it?
Yeah. Canada is pretty stressful and hectic. Like, especially if you're into corporate law, which I am into. Like, you have to put in those long hours. You have to, I guess, hustle. Even as a lawyer, you hustle a lot more. New Zealand, no. I think your business can be going up in flames, but you're still going to make it in time at 8 o'clock to have dinner with your family. And I'm saying it very neutrally. I don't mean it in a good or bad way.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest difference between India and New Zealand has to be work-life balance. Because India, I don't think that concept exists. I've not lived in India for 10 years.
Okay.
If someone comes and tells me otherwise that, hey, you're wrong, it's there, I'll be very happy to hear that.
Fair, of course.
It just means that India is moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
But at least when I was there, it was not there. So I feel like it's not sustainable.
Okay.
That is the main difference. Law में तो बहुत फर्क है यार. Like
नहीं,
I
मतलब
said,
as you work,
हाँ.
तो फिर क्या differences पता चला कि नहीं यार ये तो इंडिया में अच्छा था या फिर ये तो न्यूजीलैंड में अच्छा था ऐसे. Now when you reflect on both the countries, yeah.
Okay. तो इंडिया में I think ये शायद अच्छा होता था कि थोड़ा you probably have like a more like your relationship with your colleagues is not very transactional क्योंकि इंडिया का माहौल ही थोड़ा वैसा है. आप कैसे हो, चलो साथ में लंच करते हैं, वो तो यहाँ पे भी है, न्यूजीलैंड में भी है, बट वो थोड़ा सा आई थिंक फर्क थोड़ा सा तो आ ही जाता है. पीपल आर अ लिटिल मोर लाइक आई थिंक पीपल ड्रॉ फर्मर बाउंड्रीज विच इज अगेन नॉट अ बैड थिंग. Like I learned about how important boundaries are when I moved to New Zealand. Because in India it's a more open environment, like you know, okay, this, that, and whatever. But
I see.
I think work-life balance, then that drawing boundaries, I would say a little bit, and yeah, I would say even about ethics and professionalism and everything. I think because law is a regulated profession in both these countries. So I think from that perspective also there's a lot of difference because India may actually I don't want to walk down that path, but there is corruption. We know there is like bribery and all of that. Law is not a regulated profession in India. So sometimes कुछ भी like I don't want to start a debate on that now, but India में कभी-कभार कुछ भी चल जाता है.
How about civic sense? Do you want to
civic sense? Okay, but I don't think a lot of Canadians also have civic sense. I think civic sense I experienced at the highest level and first hand in New Zealand. I would say, because like to give you a very tiny example, when we're in a train or in a bus, people are not going to encroach on your personal space.
Wow.
Absolutely not. And if the bus is full, the bus driver won't even stop. He'll just drive past. And if someone's getting off and someone's trying to get in, it'll be like, stop, the bus is full. They won't even open that door at the back. So they'll just allow the people to get off from the front, and if you try to enter from the front, it'll be like, bus is full. And even in the train also, people don't come this as close to you. They give you that space.
So it's better. I mean, Australia, New Zealand is of course better.
Yeah.
क्योंकि ऊपर वो छपरे पे नहीं बिठाएंगे, right?
Oh my God, yes, छपरे पे. Man, that brought back like a very core memory. Not that I've done it. I've literally seen people do it. It's scary, but yeah. I mean, yes.
So,
civic sense, yes.
If you say that you know the work life was better in New Zealand or whatsoever, you had a good life. You were working 4 years. So what made you think just to switch countries and come back to Canada? Or maybe anywhere?
Same thing, like I said.
And how did you choose Canada? Sorry again.
Oh yeah, that is a good question. So I'll answer it one by one. First thing is, why did I choose? Because at the end of the day, New Zealand is a country of only 5 million people.
Yeah.
There are lots of areas of law which do not even exist in New Zealand.
Okay.
So it makes your career opportunities and jobs very restricted. You can only do these things.
Like, is it gender oriented or?
Not so much in New Zealand, I would say, but I would say in terms of areas of law, like corporate law, real estate, intellectual property, family. So there are some areas of law which don't even exist there because they don't have that industry, being a small economy. So I felt like that will restrict you majorly. And then also all the jobs are concentrated in Auckland, which is the Toronto equivalent of New Zealand. So that also, I felt like you don't want to be restricted. You want to be able to diversify. You want to have that opportunity to grow.
Right.
Very limited social life. You have 5 friends. You're going to like always be with them only.
Okay.
There's no chance or opportunity to meet new people.
Okay.
It's limited. Like you'll always be in the same circle, which is, I'm not saying it in a bad way. No. But I'm saying it in the sense like it all depends on what you want from your life.
Fair.
There are some people, they love New Zealand. They have a job. That job pays their bills, their mortgage, rent, whatever. They're very happy. And they have like 3 or 4 friends. They are very happy with that. I felt, no, I can live that life maybe when I'm older. Right now, I don't want to live like that. And that is a choice I made. So, and I'm okay. I think I'm allowed to make that choice. I don't mean to say you are wrong or I'm right. There's no right or wrong. It's just about what you want from your life and the country that you're in, is it actually giving you that opportunity? Why I chose Canada? Because I have an Indian passport. So when I was looking to go to different countries, obviously the first option was Australia. Okay. But Australia didn't have like a direct PR pathway. I had already gone to New Zealand as an international student. I didn't want to reinvest that much money as a student. So I was looking at countries which are offering a PR pathway only. And in that time, in 2019, only Canada fit the bill. Canada was the only country offering that PR pathway through express entry.
Okay.
Australia had like one pathway, but it was practically non-existent for lawyers. For STEM and all, it was very active. STEM is, the STEM field.
Yeah, I got it.
For lawyers, it was non-existent, and I was like, I can't sit and wait for this. And I was, how old was I? I was 28 or something. I said, no, if I have to do something, I have to do it now. Of course, that's a different story. COVID hit 1 year later and the world changed. But Canada was the only country offering that PR pathway which I wanted. I was like, if I'm going somewhere else, I will only go on PR. I will not go otherwise. It's
so
okay.
You were firm with your decision कि भाई Canada जाऊंगी, फिर भी I want to practice law. There is nothing else I want to.
क्योंकि वही आता है. और कुछ आता ही नहीं है, क्या करूँ? Like I think मुझे थोड़ा सा I've got imposter syndrome. Like, imposter syndrome is where like you feel, okay, this is all I know and this is all I can do types. I think I have to get over it. But I think I enjoy doing what I do. Mm-hmm. It's stressful, it's hectic, you name it, but I like doing what I do. So far, yes, I want to continue in law, or maybe something related to law, like compliance or something like that, contracts compliance or something like that. But yeah, as of now, that's what I want to do. If I ever feel, some other new door opens, every day is a learning.
Yeah.
I find something else, I'll be like, this is also pretty interesting and it aligns well with my skills and experience. I don't mind diversifying and going there.
What advice would you give someone who's burning out back home, who's having a hard time working 12-15 hour shifts and who's burning out themselves? What advice would you give them?
I mean, I don't know, because it depends. That's a very tricky question. It depends on what they want from their life.
Yeah.
Like I said, some people are happy doing that. Same, like I give you an example. Some people are happy in New Zealand. My mom is very happy in New Zealand. एक job है, उस job से सारे bills पे होते हैं, mortgage पे होता है, rent पे होता है, groceries. मैं खुश हूँ, मुझे चलेगा. लेकिन मैं नहीं खुश हूँ ना, तो फिर मैं जाके देखूँगी मैं और कहाँ जा सकती हूँ, मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ. Same thing, like if someone is burning out and if they are not happy, you change where you are. You're not a tree, right? Like if you're not happy where you are, you see where else you can go, what else you can do. Like, India is also a big country.
But what if और कुछ आता ही नहीं है तो?
No, as in, okay, so same, like me.
So like you mean different areas of law?
So that's what, see, if you're, that's what I'm saying. If you're burnt out, you're not happy. Ultimately, everything in life boils down to happiness and your wants and desires. So if you're telling me that this person is burnt out absolutely, can't work anymore like this, it's not sustainable, mera ho gaya types, then they need to recalibrate and then see like, okay, if the work-life balance in India is not existent at the moment, if I'm not happy here, can I relocate to another country? Can I consider that? Is that an option? If that's not an option, I guess, can I move cities maybe? Is that an option? Even if that is not an option, okay, so if this is where I have to be, what can I do? Like, these are questions they need to ask themselves. Okay, what can I do to reduce my work hours? Is that practical? If it's not practical, how old am I? How far am I in my career? How much savings do I have? Can I really switch careers at this age? Can I go back to school, maybe study something and then switch careers? These are questions that each one has to ask themselves. So there is no like one word advice. It's a very vast ocean. It's not a one advice fits all kind of thing. One size fits all, like they say. They have to ask themselves all these questions, get those answers, and then walk on that path accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think when you switched from New Zealand to Canada, you had to again unlearn something?
No, the transition was smooth.
So you didn't face any...
No, on the contrary, my New Zealand experience gave me an edge above all other candidates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it did. Because
so, did you face any challenges when it comes to Canada? Like switching the atmosphere and everything?
Not really. I think my biggest worry was when will I get a job.
Oh, okay.
But that touch wood worked out.
Okay.
I'm grateful for that.
Okay.
And I think my New Zealand experience came in handy.
Okay.
Because I'd already lived kind of on my own. I had already hustled, struggled. So it's like my mom told me, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience.
Okay. You already have a lead.
It gave me, and from a work experience and I guess professional perspective, the New Zealand work experience is like those skills are considered transferable. The work experience is considered transferable, so that helps. Because I've already lived and New Zealand is not very different from Canada. I already lived there, so that life experience came in handy. I've been alone, I've lived alone, I've built my life brick by brick over there alone. So I was like, if I did it there, I can do it here. And I took my time with things. I didn't rush into anything. I ventured out into community, like we were talking about, only 2 years after moving here, because I didn't want to. I like for things to grow organically. I don't like to do things impulsively. I try not to do it. So I felt like my time in Canada was a lot more smoother because I started it when I already had those life experiences. I had already learned a lot. When I moved to New Zealand, I was very raw, very naive, different. I was a different person. 6 years of New Zealand taught me what 25 years of India could not.
Wow.
So I was a very different person when I moved to Canada. Like I knew what to do, what not to do types. I'm not saying I'm a know-it-all. You're always learning.
Yeah.
But that life experience, professional experience, everything in New Zealand came in handy when I moved to Canada. And the transition was a lot smoother. Because the countries are not a lot different. Work culture is also nearly the same. The Canadian culture of hello, good morning, how are you? Same. New Zealanders, Kiwis, we're also known to be very soft-spoken, kind. So I think that was the transition from New Zealand to Canada was a lot smoother, except no one prepared me for the cold. Like I knew it's a cold country, but that was the only shock. I was like, okay.
Okay. And out of the 3 countries, like India, New Zealand and Canada, do you think that any of one has a growth or opportunity restriction based out of gender?
Not really. I don't want to dwell on that. I don't think so. Like, because I do believe there are some realities, there are some facts, but I want to just keep this very positive. Women are breaking the glass door. At the end of the day, I feel, since you asked this question, I'll say something on the lines of, it's not about equality, because I'm not really a feminist. Because I feel men and women are physiologically different, right? I can't do what a man does. I can't, because I don't have that physical strength. Maybe some women do, but at the end of the day, we are physiologically different. And now, of course, there are a lot more different genders that people identify with. That's a whole different ball game altogether. But I'll just say this, that when we speak about gender inequality at the workplace, I'll just dwell on that. We are talking about opportunities.
I see.
But I don't personally feel that any one gender has an undue advantage or something. Because sometimes I also feel like men have a lot more stress and pressure on them, which I don't want to completely ignore. Men are known to be providers, and then at the end of the day, everyone kind of just has this notion that they don't have as much familial responsibility as the female does. To each his own. I don't want to start a whole debate on it, but I just want to say that men and women are physiologically different. And when we speak about equality, we are talking about cerebral opportunities. We're talking about opportunities given to both. Personally, I have not faced any kind of discrimination on my face. Undercurrents have been there, but I have chosen to ignore them and rise above them and just focus on what I'm doing, focus on myself, my skills, what I'm bringing to the table, and make myself better.
Fair enough.
So that I can at least rest easy at night and say that, okay, I did what I could do. And at the end of the day, going back to what I said, you're not a tree. If you don't like where you are, you reassess. You ask yourself those questions, whatever is applicable to your situation, and you see how you can change.
Fair.
Like, you know, there will be an answer somewhere. It's yes, it's not as easy as I'm saying it is. It's a very deep process. It's a whole you know, it's a sea out there. You have to really go right in, dive deep, find your answers.
I see.
Yeah, if you try, you'll find.
I see.
Maybe not the best, but similar, like whatever. Like you have to, if you don't like where you are, you have to change. Like you have to move on. You have to move somewhere else.
Fair. I mean, when I look at the countries that you've lived in,
yeah.
What is that one emotional struggle that, you know, immigrants, they don't share? So what do you think that emotional thing is?
I think restarting their careers. A lot of people probably may not fully share, because if they were like managers, directors in their home country, they are coming here, and then, you know, that pain that you feel like initially, especially when you have to take a role with like a probably lower job title, like maybe you're starting
Cashier
off
or
something like that. Yeah. Like we know it's there, but I think people don't fully express the pain that they go through. Like I said, letting go of your pride, letting go of your ego. Like it's not out. It's like we know it's there. We know it's a fact. ये है, ये होता है. But कोई उसके बारे में ज़्यादा बात नहीं करता है कि मैंने ये कैसे किया, or you know, how did I overcome it, or what did I do. Like, you know, people just speak about, oh, I did it then and today I'm here.
I see.
No one really goes deep into when I did it then, what was I thinking, how did I manage my finances, my feelings, my emotions, how did I overcome that challenge of, you know, doing this job in particular after I had this job in India. That I don't think, if people start actually talking about that, what their mind frame was, what are the steps that they took to overcome all those challenges, I think that will be a great learning for, you know, people like me also. Like, okay, this person was here, then this person did this job, today this person is here. I want to know, when they were in that middle, what were they thinking, how were they maneuvering things, what was their strategy. I know that they were there, I know that today they are here. I want to know what happened when they were in the middle. That
I feel 80% of the brains might be just manipulating themselves, that whatever it is, I'm just doing it for a temporary period, and
Yes.
I will be over it,
Yeah.
and I will have the same position as I had back I'm back home.
fair point.
So I feel they just
Fair
manipulate
point.
their brains, and
Yes.
once they do
Fair
it, when
point.
they reflect back on it,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, that's what I did.
that's what. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, of course, it gives a
fair point. Yes.
you got the point, right?
Yes, I get the
Yeah,
point. Yes.
I see. So
Yes.
and also when you talk about emotional part, you know, a lot of Indians, if they know certain thing about moving abroad, they would not go. So what do you think that harsh truth is? If any immigrant, if they get to know कि ये होने वाला है, what do you think that ugly truth is?
Loneliness hits harder than expected. Loneliness, don't underestimate it. I think everyone knows it's not a Karan Johar or a Yash Chopra movie.
Right.
कि एक मजबूत सा सही सा ब्लेजर या कोट लगाया, हाथ में स्टारबक्स की कॉफ़ी ली, और यू नो वायलिन्स बज रहे हैं साइड में. वी ऑल नो वैसा नहीं है. बट आई थिंक बिकॉज वी आर मूविंग एज अडल्ट्स, adult friendships are very hard to form. They'll never be the same level of connection you had with your school friends, college mates. That people underestimate that a lot. They don't think about it enough. Right? So I think loneliness hits you harder than expected. You're probably not going to form the same level of friendships. Again, doesn't hold true for everyone. If some people find their tribe, great, good for them. That you have to, I guess, in line with that, you have to kind of mold yourself. When in Rome, do like the Romans do.
Okay.
Changing yourself both personally, professionally.
Better be like water, so you can dwell in anywhere.
Yes. बट वो आसान नहीं है, बोलना आसान है, बहुत मुश्किल है. अडल्टहुड में चेंज होना और अपने आप को वहाँ बाहर रखना वैसे उस तरह से कि मैं हूँ, मुश्किल है. तो या लोनलीनेस इट्स हार्डर देन एक्सपेक्टेड. अडल्ट फ्रेंडशिप्स आर हार्ड टू फॉर्म. You know, recalibrating, molding yourself, all those things, taking those steps. Last thing which I would say would have to be I guess something on the lines of cultural references. Sometimes, like at work, people will crack some cultural references that they've grown up with. This has happened in New Zealand, it happens in Canada also. I'm just like, okay, I don't know anything about it, so sometimes I can't contribute. You tend to feel a little left out.
Right.
I think the best way to overcome it is to actually learn, know. But अगर हम इंडिया में होते तो हमें सब पता होता ना, क्योंकि हम वहाँ पे बड़े हुए हैं.
Right.
So these are some challenges. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but these are some things which you feel like, oh, okay, it's there. Yeah.
I see. And what would if you had to recommend something, or if you had to just point out something to someone,
Yeah.
what would be that one mistake you want any immigrant to just avoid at any cost? कोई भी एक छोटी गलती या बड़ी गलती.
छोटी गलती और बड़ी गलती तो नहीं पता, बट मैं ये जरूर बोलूंगी दैट आई थिंक क्वेश्चन के एक्चुअली 2 लेयर्स हैं. तो सबसे पहले तो मैं ये बोलूंगी, आई विल से दिस, इफ यू आर मूविंग अब्रॉड, मूव फॉर द wherever you're moving, move for the right reasons. Don't move because मेरे मासी का बेटा है, मेरी चाचा की बहन है, बेटी है, जो भी है, like no, like वो गए, आप क्यों जा रहे हो?
If you should have a strong reason.
आप क्यों जा रहे हो? आपका क्या रीजन है? जैसे कि हमने पहले बात की थी ना, अपने आप को वो सवाल पूछने होते हैं.
Right.
तो why are you going? What is your reason for moving?
Right.
You figure that out. If it makes sense, if it's absolutely solid, then do it. Don't do it because someone else is doing it. No, that's wrong, because you're setting yourself up for disaster. That's not why it should be. Like, I moved because, again, my mom was there. Again, not a very valid, strong reason. But in my case, I had the comfort of knowing that my mother is already there. Like, when I moved to New Zealand, my mother had a whole grocery cupboard set up for me. ये दाल है, ये मसाले हैं, ये है. My house was ready. I didn't have to pay rent because my mother was helping me out. That's different. That's like a parent is setting things up for you and you're moving to a मतलब आपके पेरेंट पहले गए हैं, आप उनको ज्वाइन कर रहे हो, वो बहुत अलग है. बट अगर आप खुद से अकेले जा रहे हो, जैसे कि मैं कनाडा आई, मेरी मॉम ने 2 महीने लगा दिए हाँ बोलने में, बिकॉज वो पूछती रही कनाडा में ऐसा क्या मिलेगा जो यहाँ नहीं मिलता.
Right.
And till she didn't get convinced, she was like, मैं नहीं support कर रही, you know. So basically she was not trying to convince, she was not trying for me to convince her. She was basically asking me those questions so that I convince myself, and I know at the end of the day, I always go back to that conversation and I remember कि मैं इस वजह से गई थी. And I think the second layer to that question which I'll say is, people rely a lot on agents and advisors. I just want to say this, like Mexico के प्रोफेशन पे लात नहीं मारना चाहती. आई जस्ट वांट टू से दिस, यू हैव एन एजेंट, यू हैव एन एडवाइसर, यू हैव अ लॉयर, यू डू दैट, यू डू व्हाट इज राइट फॉर यू, बट डोंट जस्ट बी लाइक मैंने इसको फाइल सौंप दिया है अभी मेरे हाथ ऊपर. नहीं, आप भी इन्वॉल्व रहो. यू ऑल्सो रीड, you also understand, so that when they are talking to you and when they are giving you advice, you know what they are saying. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने चलो 2-3 हज़ार उसको पे किए हैं, उनकी फीस है, अब वो मेरी फाइल संभाल लेंगे. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. आपको भी पता होना चाहिए कि क्या होता है, क्या नहीं होता है, और वो कैसी फाइल लगा रहा है, वो क्या कर रहा है, वो कैसे strategy क्या है उनकी, like you know those. So I would say these two things.
Reliability on the agents should be.
Yeah, these are 2 things I'll say. If you're moving abroad, move for the right reasons.
Right.
Know why, have that solid base, that foundation of why I'm moving. Because every time you feel lonely, every time you feel upset, that reason is going to help you stay afloat.
True.
Second, have lawyers, have agents, but maybe trust them, rely on them, whatever. But don't just put your hands up. Also know what's happening. Keep yourself abreast with what is happening from an immigration landscape, so that you don't end up getting duped or nobody cheats you. These 2 things I'll say, because these 2 things I have implemented in my own life.
Yeah.
I'm a lawyer myself. My mother's applications, my applications, I did all on my own. So but that's just me. Like, I think it's very straightforward. You can still do it, but I just want to say, maybe even if you hire someone, make sure you're also aware of what's going on.
Fair. Okay. Fair enough. And like, do you feel that you have lost the sense of belonging, as if नहीं आप घर के रहे, नहीं आप घाट के रहे?
ये तो बहुत फील होता है.
तो बेसिकली हम दोनों एक ही बोट में हैं.
सब लोग हम आई थिंक एक ही बोट में हैं.
Yeah, I mean,
वो तो बहुत फील होता है.
I mean, recently, I mean, a year ago, I just went back home and I felt that this is not my home. I mean, home is where I live alone.
True.
I have my own apartment and everything. That is my home.
Yeah, true.
I didn't connect to the house where I was living.
Yeah.
And that is when I felt that
रिश्ते पीछे छूट जाते हैं, मोहल्ले गलियां पीछे छूट जाती हैं, पराये हो जाते हैं हम, एंड थोड़ा सा वो धोबी के कुत्ते जैसी हालत हो जाती है, इधर का नहीं उधर का. But I think all in stride, all in good spirit, because I think what we learn as immigrants, the resilience that it gives us, that's unparalleled. You're not going to get that being in your own country. And again, no offense to people who choose not to immigrate. They're also doing the right thing. They're doing what's right for them. But I feel if you have decided to immigrate, if you want that, I think it's a great learning curve. Like I spoke about, the flavor that it will add to your personality, the resilience that you will build, वो आपको कहीं से नहीं मिलेगा.
But it takes courage.
It takes courage. And जो adaptability, आप जितने fluid और flexible हो जाओगे, जैसे कि अभी मैं बोल सकती हूँ, मैं हूँ बहुत ज़्यादा, मुझे अभी ज़्यादा किसी से कुछ फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता है कि आज ये है, कल होगा, कल नहीं होगा, चलेगा, कुछ भी चलेगा, कुछ भी चलेगा. आपकी अडेप्टेबिलिटी ऐसे हो जाती है, आप रेजिलियंट हो जाते हो, बहुत स्ट्रांग हो जाती हो कि अभी यू रिमेन अनफेज्ड, यू लाइक हाँ ठीक है, ये है ना, हाँ ठीक है, ये है, हाँ चल ये भी ठीक है, कुछ भी चलेगा.
What would you say to these people who just say कि तेरे तो you are having a life back in Canada, you are enjoying everything, good snow and
like people who think that we're having a ball of a time in Canada?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not wrong technically, because at the end of the day, I don't think that there is no one size fits all. Like, आप glass को देखते हो, you can't say the glass is half full or half empty, क्योंकि वो इस चीज़ पे डिपेंड करता है कि आप उस ग्लास के साथ करोगे क्या. अगर आपको उस ग्लास में पेग बना के पीना है, तो आपके लिए ग्लास हाफ एम्प्टी इज बेनिफिशियल. क्योंकि ग्लास अगर फुल होगा तो आप उसमें पेग बनाओगे, मिक्स कैसे करोगे, है ना. तो और अगर आपको उस ग्लास में पानी डाल के पीना है, तो वो ग्लास पूरा खाली होना चाहिए, फिर आप उसमें पानी डाल के पी सकते हो. सो पर्सपेक्टिव की बात होती है. सो आई फील कि अगर उन्हें लगता है कि हम अच्छी लाइफ जी रहे हैं सोचने दो, और सही भी है, क्योंकि क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ तो बेटर है ही ना यहाँ पे, इसीलिए तो हम यहाँ हैं. देयर इज अ बेटर क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ. you're breathing clean air. You have like a healthcare system which is overloaded, but it's at least there. And it is a welfare based economy, and there is a healthy work life balance in most industries. There is a sense of respect. You're treated like a human being wherever you go, and every country has its own advantages and disadvantages. No country is perfect. But then at the same time, if they can't see our struggles, just like we can't see theirs. We'll also think, oh, you're staying in India, you're staying close to your family, you don't have to pay rent, you don't have a mortgage because you're probably living with your parents and so on and so forth. So I think people tend to make things too glossy. And it's a good attitude to have. You should always look at the positive side of things.
Right.
That's not wrong. And वही तो बात है ना, like if they're trying to poke you or nitpick you, then कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना, like you can't really dwell on it कि अरे उसने ऐसा कैसे बोला. It's okay, बोल दिया.
I love that answer.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And okay, if someone followed your path step by step, what would challenge them the most?
What would I think what would challenge them the most? I believe if they're not adaptable enough, if they're not resilient, it's not easy moving three countries like twice.
Halwa to nahi hai.
Yeah, because it's like you move once, it takes a lot from you. Then moving a second time, although you're starting from experience, you're still moving.
Right.
It is still unfamiliar territory. It's a new country, different laws. You have to adapt. So I think challenges would be if you're not a very adaptable person, if you don't like change, that would be the biggest challenge. If you're not very resilient, you'll crumble. You'll be like, मेरे से नहीं होता ये, मुझे वापस जाना है, घर वापस जाना है, it'll kind of be like that. And I think even from like a legal perspective also, if I have to say, learning and unlearning. Main problem is unlearning. That would be, I think, it's even above, I would say, adaptability and resilience. Adaptability, resilience are more abstract personality traits, but I would say unlearning what you already know, that is the hardest. It's like I already know all these things, Now I have to unlearn them, I have to forget them, and I have to learn a new set of things. Because you're set in your ways, like I said.
I see.
To go back, to get rid of that, to shake it off, and then to become a new person, to like adapt to where you are, that I would say.
If you are given the opportunity to move back to square one, would you?
When you say square one, which country are you talking about? Like, what are you?
From where you started.
Like law school back in India?
Yeah, India.
No.
You won't.
I am happy where I am. I don't want to go through that grind again. भाई बहुत मेहनत की है. मतलब मेहनत और भी करनी है. I want to. I have miles to go before I sleep. So there's a lot more to unravel in life.
Moving back is not an option.
To India?
Anywhere. I mean,
so if I get I always say this, if I get a great job opportunity in India which is paying me very well and helps me maintain the same level of lifestyle that I have here, I don't mind going back to India, honestly. Even if there is no work-life balance, whatever, it's fine. Because I think at the end of the day, like, there's a certain lifestyle that I live right now, like that I have right now. I wouldn't want to, like, the bottom line is I wouldn't want to let go of that. If India is offering me that, I don't mind. But as of now, they're not. And you can't sit here and get a job there. It's not easy. So that's not on my mind or agenda. New Zealand, yes, because at the end of the day, I don't mind moving back because I've lived in New Zealand longer than I've been in Canada. So there's a certain level of familiarity. My mother lives there.
I see.
My mother is still in New Zealand and my heart will always be where she is.
Okay.
So
Fair.
I don't mind going back to New Zealand. But then again, there's a reason I left. So I think going back to New Zealand will be my absolute last resort that, okay, few things didn't probably work out the way I wanted them to. I'm going back. But I'm going to go back with a happy heart, with great experiences, with a happy heart. India, not really. I've left that life. I won't actively move in that direction unless something so drastic or tragic happens that I have to do it. Then it's different. But it's not, like I said, it's not on my agenda. If I magically end up getting like a high-paying job, I'll be like, oh wow, this is too good an offer to let go of. I'll be like, I think I want to consider it. Maybe then I will. Otherwise, it's not on my list. Like, it's not something I'd actively think about.
Ending up with a question that I usually ask every podcast. So, what advice would you give to a younger version of yourself?
Oh, wow. I love this question. Be confident. Take risks. Make mistakes. Make a lot of mistakes. You don't have to be perfect. Nobody cares. Live your life, you know. बेबाक होके जियो. किसी को घंटा फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Sorry, I can say that, right? Yeah. I mean, okay, yeah. Nobody cares. It's okay. Like, just make mistakes, be confident, and don't think about what other people will think.
Yeah.
Just be yourself. Like, it's exactly how I am right now. Okay. And when I look back at the 10 years, I feel like, no man, like, this is what I want. Like, in fact, this is a conversation I have with myself quite often. I'm like, what would I tell myself? And I'm like, this is exactly what I want to tell myself. Yeah, that's a good question. I like that.
Well, that was lovely having you on the
and
first
likewise.
ever episode of season 2.
Yay!
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. I had fun. I love talking, as you can tell. So I hope I answered most of your questions, and I hope I answered them well. And I hope whoever's watching this can take back something valuable, like, you know.
Anything more you want to add to the viewers?
I mean, I just want to say, like, the same advice that I would give myself. You know, be confident and make mistakes. Nobody cares. Live your life. There's only one life. Live it as well as you can. And if you're an immigrant, I think the hustle is what will make you the most proud. Like, I'm very proud of my roots, of where I started. I know where I started. I know where I am today. And I feel I couldn't be prouder of myself. I know I did well. And when I hear my mom tell people, oh, she's a self-made woman, nothing makes me prouder than that. And if you're still, like, hustling, it's going to pay off one day. It will. If you work in the right direction, it will. And if that's what you want, and if you manifest it, it will. And yeah, I think that's be kind. That's in the end, I'll just say that, be kind. It doesn't hurt. Like, we already have a lot to be stressed about. That's all.
Yeah.